The purpose of this resource is to provide guidance for utilizing scaffolds that are embedded in your EL Education District curriculum. Scaffolding is an instructional method that progressively moves students toward greater independence and understanding during the learning process. It's a temporal support that acknowledges what students already know, the barriers they will face in achieving new learning goals, and the instructional support that will benefit them in negotiating those barriers. Throughout this learning opportunity, we'll focus on examples of scaffolds that already exist within the EL education lessons, using Lesson 6 from Grade 5, Module 2, Unit 3. An EL Education Scaffold Overview document for elementary ELA grades 2 through 5 can be found in Learning Central under the appendix within each grade level module and in the teacher planning tools for your grade level curriculum. Please refer to this document for additional supports as you plan. The lesson components listed on the slide are where you can locate embedded scaffolds within lessons and will be highlighted throughout this presentation. In this lesson, students begin to consider pacing in their narrative writing, particularly speeding up time. They analyze a model narrative and revise their partner narratives written in the first half of the unit. ELLs may find combining and reducing sentences challenging. Outline a couple of helpful strategies. Give them simple examples to practice with, or find straightforward examples from their own narratives. See Levels of Support and Meeting Students' Needs column in Work Time A and B for specific suggestions. For Work Time A, consider methods for students to identify sentences that are sped up. For instance, make paper strips of several phrases or sentences that speed up time and slow down time in Bite at Night. And invite ELLs to place them into two piles: language that speeds up time and language that does not speed up time. Another option is to offer students a worksheet with multiple choice options of sentences that speed up or slow down time. Collect samples of simple sentences from students' narratives that would benefit from being combined. Type them onto sentence strips and give one to each student. Invite them to find another student with a strip that could be appropriately combined with theirs, and ask them to tell their new combined sentences to the rest of the class. The Universal Design for Learning is a way of thinking about teaching and learning that helps give all students an equal opportunity to succeed. Students will need several models to help them understand how to revise their writing. Think Alouds by teachers or peers can help students understand the thought processes that go into revising their own writing. This lesson asks students to speed up time in certain portions of their own narrative. Think about offering a worksheet with extra practice on combining sentences that students can refer to when they go back to their own writing. For some students, identifying points in their writing that require speeding up and making revisions at the same time may be a barrier to achieving the learning target. Some students may benefit from differentiating the complexity of the task by having them first identify areas that could be sped up, like with highlighters or underlining first, and then asking them to revise by combining sentences. The vocabulary in this lesson is mainly that students can understand what is meant by the terms relevant, speeding up time, and pacing. Consider the class acting out some of these concepts and relating them to real-world situations. For ELLs and students who might need additional support with reading, model the task of finding language that speeds up time in Bite at Night. Think aloud as you read. As a group, create an anchor chart of author strategies for speeding up time, such as the author says how much time has passed, or the author writes a list of several activities that has already happened. Conduct a mini language dive using the sentences, "Someone loaned me a flashlight so that I could safely make it to the outhouse and then back to my tent, where I located my first aid kit and nursed my wounds." Work on this sentence with students by breaking it up and putting it back together. Provide opportunities for practice by doing a think aloud by combining sentences. For example, "I was sleeping at night. I was cold. I heard a loud noise when I was sleeping. The loud noise was probably a bear." Ask them, can you find words that are repeated? Do we need "at night"? Do we need "I was cold"? What do we have left? How can we make one sentence out of what's left? Provide additional support by having students chunk the task between identifying and revising. First, have them identify sentences, perhaps by highlighting or underlining, that might be combined in their narratives. Then ask them to explain why the sentences are important to combine, like some details are not relevant, and have students think through a process of thinking aloud to combine the sentences. Scaffolding is an instructional method that progressively moves students toward greater independence and understanding during the learning process. Refer to the EL Education Scaffold for grades 2 through 5 for additional resources. As a reminder, additional resources and professional learning videos can be found in Learning Central under the appendix within each grade level module and in the teacher planning tools for your grade level curriculum.